These last couple of videos have been pretty tough because I treat hip hop in a sacred way, but I have to say also that although hip hop is progressive in its general sense as a concept, the rappers in the mainline area are very right wing and backwards. So if you just listen to what they're saying, it'll be maybe a lot of progressive lines in a row, but then they'll just come with some far right wing nonsense, bigotry, toxic sludge that they probably picked up from their education along the way. And most rappers and successful ones are black who come from humble beginnings, and so I wouldn't expect them to have fascist teachings at that level. That would come from most likely their label executives or their producers or their managers, things like that, who generally tend to be white and Jewish. But you can't say that for sure, right? They're still saying these things. They're still making the conscious choice. If you tell somebody to jump off a cliff, like, are they going to do it? You know, maybe, maybe not. Depends what the results are. And I mean, of course, they're getting paid a lot of money, these mainline rappers, to say these things. So they probably come up with some justification in their mind for being a complete fraud. Like, oh, I'm getting paid, so I'm a complete fraud of a human being now. But they say they're not because they're from this place or they're this color or something like that and whatever. But no, they're far right wing. And it doesn't really take much effort to realize this. I just haven't really said it publicly. But if you look at something as simple as gay marriage, they can't even get through that. They're very, very small minded and backwards, living in the past. They can't even accept some basic progress of humanity. They're just stuck in this ancient past or this distant past. Like, at the very least, they're stuck in the 80s or something. They're stuck in the 1700s in 1492 or in year 2000 BC or something. But they are stuck in the past. Most mainline rappers, at least. Hip hop's not going away, so it's not just some trendy thing and you can hope and pray for it to disappear with your bigotry, and then it's going to because you're scared of the blacks and the poor people and the disabled people and whatever other groups you've compartmentalized hip hop into so that you can more easily digest it. But no, it's not going away. It's a strong form of music. It requires rhythm and talent, and it's very danceable. Arguably requires a little bit of dance skill. Lyricism. If you're going to be a quality rapper, you know, somebody that who draws a large crowd or who has the respect of the community, or you know, who is big into underground things like that, because it doesn't always have to correlate your success to numbers, right? Because America's not a meritocracy at all. And so going through hip hop, you may find yourself going down one track or another. And I've always been debating, you know, whether I should be more of a DJ or producer, or rapper or dancer or whatever, because I am multi-talented and I could do some of these things. I prefer doing the rapping more than anything, but I find myself outspoken for the most part, and especially when I write, because I can get more detailed, because I am an extremely progressive person, but these rappers are very, very slow and very backwards. And if it's not the LGBTQ thing, what they're these mainline rappers are murderers, child molesters and rapists, sex traffickers, scammers, frauds, just gossipers, passive aggressive whiners. Um, at the very least, they're completely soulless and lost in money. So yeah, you won't really see them out at the front lines at a protest or being big in philanthropy. Some of the Chicago rappers are more into philanthropy. They're just more intelligent, probably because they're from the Midwest. But yeah, most of them you won't really see walking the walk. They'll talk a lot of talk. They won't really walk the walk. They'll get caught with guns like a dumbass, even though they have security and have protection and they're not getting shot at and not in danger. They'll get caught with guns because that's what they do. But that aside, I mean, guns are not a problem if you know how to manage them. But yeah, they are far right-wing rappers. And I mean, it's strange to think about, but that's the world we live in. Maybe back in the 80s, they were more progressive. It could be. But the generation that I grew up in as a millennial and the newer rappers, they're very conservative and backwards aiming. And it's unfortunate, but it's kind of been where this country's been going anyway, just continually throughout my life getting more and more backwards, more conservative, more ignorant, dumber, lazier, more pathetic, lashing out at different countries and, you know, just bigotry and reversing itself. And mainline rappers are not there to help. I should add on, in all due respect, right? There are the J. Coles and, you know, the Jids in the mix who really do try and put effort into hip hop and rap and their lyrics and their performance and things like that. So they would be more like a centrist because they're not really saying much that's progressive or like thinking independently. They're just kind of saying like, maybe don't murder, maybe don't rape kids, maybe don't steal from your friends, and maybe don't promote fentanyl over organic healing substances, maybe promote positivity over negativity, things like this. So it's not really anything nuanced because it has to go through their label as well, and the labels are just as far right wing as you can possibly get. Again, when you've been in a position of privilege for thousands and thousands of years, because the Jews are hyper, mega, uber overrepresented in the entertainment industry, so they're really the ones doling out the advice to rappers. But yeah, again, rappers don't really know what effort is. Otherwise, they would be putting it in and they would be creating more of a quality product. They were most likely just an industry plant, though, so they didn't really have to work hard for what they have. They started rapping for like 1 or 2 years and they had a 9-to-5 job for like 0 years of their life. And then they got a record label deal because they had the right look. Just something low effort, low intensity, low. It's just not impressive. But that is rap and hip hop as it is. And those are the people that rise to the top, and they don't really know what to do, and they waste money and get caught with guns and do stupid shit and rape kids because they didn't earn it. They didn't deserve their spot. They didn't work hard for it, and they preach nonsense. So no, they didn't really earn it. But yeah, there are some conscious centrist rappers out there in the main line. So I just wanted to add that in as well. And lastly, Wisconsin towards me in hip hop. The Wisconsin hip hop people out of Madison and Milwaukee, and the scholarship people and the state of Wisconsin and the university and all that sort of stuff has been far right wing, purely fascist towards me, not creating opportunities, but taking them away for my entire life. But we've been through that already. Just wanted to remind you of that and the importance of those big powers when it comes to creating quality art, because it forces you to deviate from who you are maybe, or change up your style, your original style, to try to fit their impossible standards. And so I've had to jump through hoops just to get any opportunities at all. My resume is longer than anyone in Wisconsin because I haven't been given any entry level opportunities at all. Denied me stages, denied me unpaid internships and jobs, denied me everything. Wisconsin is anti hip hop, is a purely fascist state, and it's fucking gross.